Hello everyone. In today's biology lesson, we are going to be looking at the human brain. And from our previous lessons, we looked at the main functions of the brain, which included 1. The brain stores the information. 2. Receives impulses from receptors and sends them back to effectors. That is very simple in a sense that in case maybe you get hit by something, anything within the environment, the receptors are the ones responsible for receiving that information. Then the brain interprets the information. After interpreting the information, then it sends the impulses to the relevant effectors that could be structures like the muscles within the legs or arms, so that a response can be executed. For example, if a snake comes around you, the receptors in the environment are the eyes. They are going to get that information, pass over the information to the brain, and then the brain will send impulses to the relevant effectors that are the muscles within your legs that are going to contract and then run away. So that's how it works out. The next is that the brain interprets information. Every time you see something within the environment, you making sense of it is the role that is performed by brain.
The brain is actually divided into three main parts, where we have the forebrain, which is the largest part of the brain, and we have the midbrain, which makes the smallest part of the brain, and lastly we have the hindbrain. But you'll find out that each of these parts has a special organs within them that perform specific functions, which we are going to see detailed in the video.
Hello, so today we are going to look at the brain, and on the screen there we are seeing the general structure of the brain. I'm trying to rotate around to show you that is the general structure of the brain. And if I'm to rotate further, if I rotate further, you see that this folded part is what we call our cerebrum, and this cerebrum forms up what we call the forebrain. And then this downer part here is what we call our cerebellum. Together with this rod-like structure, we call the medulla oblongata. These two, the cerebellum and the medulla oblongata, form up what we call our hindbrain. Now, for what we call the midbrain, it is covered up by this cerebrum. So for us to be in position to visualize the midbrain, which is made up of the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, we have to dissect. We have to dissect that. We have to dissect that brain and then be in position to look at the midbrain. I would like to rotate this brain. Now, if we have to rotate the brain around, this is what we call our midbrain. Alright, so after I have dissected off one of the hemispheres of the cerebrum, so we can now be in position to clearly see the midbrain. Now, when you look at this, when you look at it, you will see that inside here we have this part here. That part is what we call the hypothalamus, and then we have this other part here. This other part is the pituitary gland. So those two parts are the ones responsible for forming what we call the midbrain. So now this is the structure of the human brain that has undergone longitudinal pulsing.
From
the video that you have just watched, you should be able to label the different parts of the brain and carry out a research on your own to also get the functions of the named parts of the brain. There is a diagram that I'm going to display for you, which is the next slide. So this, I think you can now see the diagram I was talking about. I want you to label or name all the parts that are shown, A, B, C, and D. The video which we had watched should be able to guide you on that, and then carry out a research and get the functions of all these different parts.
So, a link having a form that you are going to fill is sent to your emails, each one of you, and after answering and putting in the functions of these different parts, you have to send it to the class email. Next lesson shall be on other parts of the brain and their functions. See you. Good afternoon.